So today I'm going to talk to you about one of my stress relievers, which is makeup. I love makeup. It's not a girl thing, it's a me thing. I hated makeup before. I never saw the reason for it, and I never saw the reason to take the time out to do it. I was never a girly girl, but once I had a little bit more time on my hands when I had cancer, I decided I need something to learn, so I learned makeup. I love it. I like playing with it. I like being creative with it. I'm a creative person by nature. So it was a great outlet for me. The first thing I do for my makeup routine is wash, moisturize your face. You need to have a good base. Skincare is the #1 thing you can do to make your makeup look better. I neglected skincare for a long time, but now I've got some skincare going because I need it. I have very dry skin. I have rosacea, as you can see. Rosacea, as you can see. So the first thing I do is my eyes, because any kind of fallout or messes I make down here, I can get rid of it with concealer or foundation. So first I use my Smashbox 24-hour eye primer. I like this one. I also like the Urban Decay primer potion. They're both fine. I have no problems with either. I like the anti-aging one from Urban Decay or the original. I don't like some of the other ones. They had a limited edition one that I actually gave back to women in need. I bought that one, didn't like it. I have a bit of a crepey eye going on. So just know that not all Urban Decay primers are made the same. So I put that on my eye to have a good base. I apologize that I'll be looking down a lot because this is where the makeups are. What I'm going to be using today for my eyes is the Mar palette from Colourpop. I love Colourpop. If you're not aware of Colourpop, you haven't been watching much makeup stuff on YouTube, but they're an indie brand that you can get at Ulta. You can also get them online, and online has a lot more inventory and stock and special things that you can get. So today, as you can see, I love these colors. They're pigmented. They are hit and miss sometimes. They also have super shock shadows, which come in individual containers. I prefer their palettes sometimes because I travel a lot for work, and it just makes it easier than me having to bring 5, 6 individual shadows with me. And the super shocks aren't depotable. Let me restate that. They are depotable, but because they're a cream based, they will dry out on you. So you don't want to depot them. Whereas these don't do that. And if you wanted to depot these, or you wanted to buy singles of these and put them in a Z palette, you can do that as well. So the first thing I am going in with here is this color here. And this color is named Boozy. I'm not boozy. So I have a hooded eye, as you can probably tell. Hooded eye means I don't really have a well-defined crease, and when I open my eyes, it comes over my lid. So that's hooded. Hooded eyes need to put eye makeup on differently. Most people, when they put makeup on, say go in your crease, which would be here. Now, if we do that as someone who has a hooded eye, it makes your eye look sunken and smaller, and that's not what you want to do. You want to make it open and brighter. So I will show you the difference, which may affect how I put them on and how even they are, but I'm going to show you the difference anyways. So on this one, I am going to do the eye socket thing. So this would be my crease normally. If I did not have a hooded eye, you would go back and forth. So that would be traditionally what they would tell you to do. Traditionally, go in the crease and go back and forth. So if you want to do it a different way, if this is okay, if you want to do it a different way, you come straight up and here to the mid. When I say the mid, the middle of your black spot of your eye, and pull the color over, and don't drag it down, drag it up like so. Now when you put makeup on hooded eyes, you should do it with your eyes closed and open, so you can, get an idea of what it looks like when your eye is open, because as you can see, this covers a good bit of your eyelid when you open it up. So you can see the difference here. This eye looks darker and more sunken, and this eye looks brighter and more open. So I'm going to now make them both look the same. And again, I'm going to look down because I'm looking in the mirror. For my eye shape and my hooded eyes, I like that look better. I think it makes my eyes look more open, and yes, it's not blended. I'll blend it more, but this is a better look in my opinion for me. You might think differently, and that's okay. You don't have to do everything I do. You do not have to like everything I like. Another tip, if you're just starting out in makeup, don't buy 100 brushes. Don't buy 100 expensive brushes. This is a Morphe, oh, what is this? A Morphe M503. It's okay. It's fine. Honestly, if you go to the store, Target, anything, and buy the e.l.f. brushes for $1 each, that'll get you where you're going for a while. If you want to get more serious about it, you can obviously buy more expensive brushes. And yes, there is a difference in the quality once you start buying more expensive. But if you're just starting out, you don't need to. Another thing is, you don't want to use the same brush for the same thing all the time. So if I took this and I put it in another color, put it on, it's going to get muddy after a while. You don't have to buy separate brushes. A lot of people tell you to, but what you can do is change the color on them. So they sell little round tins where you swish your brush around in them and it changes the color, or you just get a napkin, switch it around, move it around, and put it on the paper towel, keep rubbing it, and it'll do the same exact thing. So now I'm going to add some color. The color I'm adding today is going to be this matte blue in El Rey. Now this is a really pigmented color. Be careful. I did this tutorial once before, and I put a little, and it went all over my eye. I put enough makeup on to pretty much paint this whole area of my face in blue. So it's really pigmented. A little goes a long way. So again, because of hooded eyes, you want to make sure that you're coming up a little bit more than you normally would. So you're actually putting and placing down the color and pigment a little higher than what you see in normal makeup tutorials. See how it's above my actual eyelid? And then you bring the color down. Now you want to follow the same shape. You want to do the same thing where you're not trying to make the color go down. You want it to still have like a little lift to it. Now this color I'm again only bringing to the middle of my iris, the black part of your eye. Take a separate brush to blend it with. This is also a Morphe, am I correct? No, this is not. This is a Revolution brush. This is the BX90, and I'm going to use this to blend. So just little short circles, just so there's no harsh lines. And you're not like blending into all the color, you're just doing where the line is. That way it looks like a transition. This with no color. What I'm going to put in there is this color in this palette, and it is called Wild One. This one right here, and I'm going to use my finger. Again, when you have hooded eyes, it's a little different. If you just put it on your eyelid when you open, as you can see, you don't see much of it. If you put it a little higher, you can see the color. So again, using the same principle, put it a little higher than you normally would. That way, pretend your eyelid goes all the way up here. That way people can actually see what you've done with your eye makeup. Then I'm going to take my Morphe brush again. Actually, no, I'm going to take this denser brush, which is an It's Cosmetics brush, which doesn't have a number on it, but it's one of their eye brushes. I'm gonna just take a little tiny bit of El Rey, tiny bit. Just make sure these two are blended. So so it doesn't seem like such a harsh transition. I usually don't put eyeliner on or mascara. My eyelashes, if you can see, I'll get close here. Ooh, scary. They lay down flat here in the corners. Random. So I usually don't put mascara. I will put false lashes on. I just ran out of false lashes actually because I'm going to use. I ripped them and tore them in half. So can't put them on today, but that's usually what I do. When I am doing liner, I usually don't use traditional liner. Depends on the mood I'm in, and I usually don't make a wing on my eyes, again because of my hooded eyes. What I usually do is I take a darker color. So for this palette, I'm going to be taking the top down brown color right here. An eye brush, a pointed triangle eye brush, and I'm going to get very close and I will bring you in. So what I do is I get very close, and on my actual line, my eye line, I put on the darker color. Gives a little bit of definition because the blue is so dark, can't see it that well, but that's what I like to do. So I'll do the same for this eye. So you can see here that my shadow, you know, fallout stuff. I will clean all of this up with concealer. Which brings us to foundation. The foundation I've been using lately is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, which is a cream stick foundation. Never thought I would like a cream stick foundation. Love this cream stick foundation. I wear the color Natural. It's a random weird name for a color because I don't know why I'm natural, but I wear the color Natural. What I usually use is this Shiseido brush. I don't know the name of it. I will link it in the description box below, or a beauty blender. So I will take my lovely foundation stick. I like to paint, depending on the mood I'm in. It's my dogs. I have two dogs. I have two big fat fatty boxers. They're great. I love them, but they're very loud. And they bark if the wind blows the wrong way. There's a lot of serial killer leaves around my house. So then I paint. I make it sound so clinical. I apply my foundation and then I use my beauty blender to pat it out. I've really been liking cream products lately. I don't know if it's because it's the winter. Even though I live in a very humid and warm area of the country, my skin has gotten used to that humidity. So in the winter, it actually starts to get drier, even though 90% humidity is not my favorite thing in the world. My skin likes it. So I do a base like this, and then the areas that I need a bit more coverage in, which is usually my red cheeks up here, and then I have discoloration around here and some dark spots. So that's my foundation. Now I use concealer. For my concealer, I use Shape Tape. Everyone who does makeup, knows makeup, has been watching some YouTube videos, knows what Shape Tape is. The majority of people use Shape Tape. I want to try the Cover FX one because I hear it's more hydrating, and Shape Tape can be very drying. So if you have dry skin, be aware that Shape Tape is very dry. And if you want to use this with dry skin, you have to moisturize a lot under your eyes or in the areas you want to put this on. So for me, I take it out, and then the doe foot has a little well in it, as you can see. That well holds a lot of makeup and a lot of product. So I actually brush it off before I do this, because if you don't, see, I brush that off and there's still a lot. I also like to cover my nose, around my nose, laugh lines. This one, much more pronounced in videos than this one. I think it's the lighting. Don't know. And then I have discoloration here. This are not like lines, there's discoloration. When I was a kid, here's a fun story. When I was a kid, I know I'm trying to talk and do this. I used to suck on glasses, like the Kylie challenge, except not with your lips, like right here. I think I permanently bruised this area of my chin. At least that's what I'm going with, or I just have discoloration there for no reason. So remember that brush I was telling you about by Shiseido? I use this for concealer. So I find that it is the right size to move it around. And as you can see, it does a good job of getting into the areas I want. If I think it's a little too dry, because like I said, Shape Tape is dry, I use my finger to warm it up a bit. My blank plastic face. So I usually don't powder my skin because it's dry. What I do though is I need to lock in this concealer and set it and set around here. So I fell in love with this powder because of the packaging. This is Sulwhasoo. This is a Korean brand. It is carried in the United States though, usually in Nordstrom or other high-end department stores. This is beautiful. They come out with a limited edition compact each year. I don't know why this one sang to me. I also have it in the blush compact because I can't contain myself, and these were actually gifts. So I'm going to say that. This is the blush, and this is powder. And again, Sulwhasoo is a Korean brand that's carried in major department stores in the United States, as well as online and on beautylish.com. This is the powder. It's a very finely milled powder. It has a soft scent to it, so if you don't like scents, you may not like this. I take a little bit of that powder, tap it off, and then I put a bit under my eye to set that. I don't usually bake just because it would be too dry and I would have cakey face. So this blush came damaged. Beautylish replaced it immediately. They have a great customer service policy, but I'm using the broken pan just because there's still product left in it and I might as well see all of this broke. So it's a beautiful blush. I usually don't like it because this would be the highlighter portion of it, I would assume. But I swirl it all together and I use it as a blush. I am using the Sephora Pro Stippling Brush Diffuser, number 44. I do not know that this is in stock anymore. I think I got this on sale when they were clearancing it out. And then I put blush here. Now, for blush, a lot of people say do this and do apples. I don't do that. I have, as you can tell, a big face. It's huge. So to try to do that, instead of bringing it down, you want to bring it up. So you don't want to have your blush too low or too high, and you want to make sure it goes up and out. So while it's here, your face still looks up. If it's a little too far down, your face looks a little lower, right? I use two products for bronzer, and the first one is Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer in the stick in Blaze. Now, I found these two cream products. When I say two cream products, I mean this Milk Makeup product and this Hourglass foundation through RawBeauty Kristi. I love her. I will also link her channel below. She's great if you like makeup at all. She's a little different than most makeup beauty gurus, and I aspire to be like her. So this is a stick. I do not, like I said, powder my whole face. So I do use this. Doesn't it look incredibly shocking? But it blends out amazingly well. Here. This makes the double chin and the stuff go away. It doesn't, but it gives you a little shadow. I feel like we're doing one of those Mickey tutorials. The power of makeup. Or I look like a sea hag first. I'm gonna put some makeup on and then I'm like the Little Mermaid. Let's go with it. I also use the Hoola Benefit bronzer when I'm trying to go for a dramatic look, and that's what this is, a little more dramatic than everyday wear. Hoola Benefit is going to be releasing different colors for this bronzer. It's about time, and it's great. So people with darker skin tone and lighter skin tone can use it, but this works well for me. And if you use a light hand, you can use this pretty much for any skin tone. Darker, it probably make you look a little ashy, but they're fixing that right now. It's a thing. I don't know why I like highlighter so much. I love highlighter. If you don't like it, you can use a light hand, or you can go out like this. You can just make this your look, or just add a little bit of a shimmery thing to your face. I love highlighter. I switch between this one, which is the Amerezy highlighter. Everybody's talking about this as well. This is a great product. I also use the Hourglass contour stick highlighter. I love this one. I also love the Honey highlighter by Laura Geller. It's a baked highlighter. It's one of the, I guess, cult favorites that they have. So to apply highlighter, I don't use a normal brush. I use a very small brush like this. Sometimes they come out perfect, sometimes they come out a little wonky. Today's a little wonky. And I use powder to do that. Or I will use the Benefit Brow Gel. Or there's a new product by Urban Decay that I want to try, which is the new brow marker. And there is no other reason other than I like product and I want to try it. So I'm going to try that now. Actually, I'll show you me trying it in a later video. So last but not least, I put on lipstick. Now, I didn't show you this at the beginning, but before I start putting my makeup on, I always put on this Vanish sleeping mask onto my lips. My lips tend to be dry as well. While I'm putting my makeup on, this is sinking into my lips. It absorbs very well. And if there's any left over before I put my lipstick on, I just wipe it off with some cotton. I don't like very matte lipsticks. They dry my lips out. I just don't like the feeling. But I love this Pat McGrath lipstick. This lipstick is in the color Christy. This is not a drying lipstick by any means, and I just love it. And because we have a dramatic eye look today, I'm going to go for a nude. I know the price point for this is pretty high. I know. They have, and I don't know if they're still around, but in the holidays they had these packs that had 3 tiny ones for $25. If you can afford that, I would suggest doing that because it's a good way to get an idea of the brand without paying this much money for a lipstick. I made the mistake of going into a Sephora and and one of the women put it on me, and it's amazing. I have never felt a matte lipstick that is hydrating like this. It doesn't feel bad on my lips, which is a plus to me. I don't usually use a lip liner with a nude lip like this simply because I don't think it's going to run. If it's a color that I think might actually bleed, I will. But since it's so close to my own lip color, I do not. That is the finished look. So that's just something I like to do. It's one of my hobbies. It helps me de-stress. It helps me feel good. Sometimes I just put makeup on just to play. And I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit different than me just talking about what's wrong with me, but I want this channel to be a little light too. I don't want it to all be, oh, these are the horrible things that I've been through in my life and how I've dealt with them. So I hope you like this little change of pace. I will sprinkle these in from time to time. If you want to see more of this or more tutorials, let me know with a comment. And if you like my content, please subscribe and you will know when I put more stuff in. So have a good day and thanks for watching. Bye.